That was your intro applause.
It was a very slow intro applause.
It's very dramatic.
The slow motion morning.
like a golf clap, if you
Gosh.
will.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well,
Samuel clap.
Yes. You see,
All
you're
right.
inventing things all the time.
Hey,
It's
Sandy.
amazing.
What's up, Carlos?
What are we doing?
Recording season 3 of Auto Flosser podcast.
Already? What do we want the people
Yep.
to do?
Find us. YouTube, Apple Podcast, we're everywhere. Like, follow, subscribe,
And go floss yourself.
and go floss yourselves.
Tom, you look good.
Thanks, Sandy.
You look really good.
Appreciate
It's way early in your
It's,
just
no,
like
it's 1 hour earlier. It doesn't take me long. A little
yeah.
in the morning, and I'm ready
Yeah.
to go.
And you
Yeah.
wear your
Me and Carlos.
uh,
Carlos is on
yeah.
the easy scale, and then it like goes up from there. Goes from Carlos to me to Sandy.
yeah, like I can literally do nothing,
yeah.
and look pretty much exactly the same.
That's perfect because you can always fly under the radar that way. Nobody ever really knows what's going on.
As long as you're
Yeah.
somewhat clean. you
Or
can fake it.
deodorant, whatever you got to do, get out the house on time. Or-
Like I had I still have a younger brother, but he's an adult man now. But he would play basketball and be late for his job,
oh,
and he would just change his shirt, and he'd walk past you, and you're like, What is that?" He goes, "It's deodorant." I'm like, "No, buddy. Beyond, you've passed the threshold. Now you gotta
Yeah.
reset. Jump in the shower for 2 seconds. Will you
There's
please?"
only so much a
Yeah,
deodorant
geez.
can do.
Oh,
It's not like the Iron Dome. It's still permeable.
it's like a sheet.
teenage boys are gross.
Yeah. So is this episode 135 or 136?
135.
Yeah, 134 monkey urine.
Monkey. Oh, yeah. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I shared the crap out of that, the monkey crap out of that, mostly because just the intro, I was rolling.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. So, Carlos, who do we have here on episode 135?
I can't believe it myself. It's the one and only Dr. Tom Jackson.
Ah,
Good morning,
do you
sir.
prefer Thomas or Tom or?
I can go by either. Usually, if someone's calling me Thomas, it's because I'm in trouble, so I prefer Tom.
Yeah.
But
Okay, Tom.
if it's something super official, like I'm getting like the Nobel award or something, I'd probably go with Thomas.
You see that on your future?
The Nobel?
Yeah.
No.
For dental, maybe? Do we have one for dental?
I
We
don't
should.
really think there is. I don't really think there is.
Yeah.
Give me a
I think the
peace
best
prize.
I'll get is just a cup of coffee from somebody, but that's about it.
Excuse me. So Tom Jackson has invented something pretty amazing. And I have to say, we all met at Smiles at Sea in Miami. We had fun. We talked a little biz, and now we're here because we wanted to talk to you about your product, because when I saw it, I nearly lost it.
He was with his crew, amazing group of people, crazy
Yeah.
fun, and
They were fun. Yes.
I get. So, what are we talking about, Danny? Are we talking about this little doodad right here?
Oh, snap. Yes, the Auto Flosser. So let me just give you my first impression, because when you showed it to me and you showed me how it works. So not only did you show me it and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. And then you did the little dial and I was like, what? For me, I think it's a game changer. But
Why do you think it's such a game changer?
I'm going to give you an example. Yesterday, I was sitting with a patient and she had canine to canine bridge. It was brand new. So the tissues were like right up against the bridge. It was kind of hard to lace through. She said that she couldn't get she had to go in a certain spot each time to get the floss through to floss under her bridge. So she wasn't doing it all the time because it was difficult. So I was like, in my head, I'm like, Tom, I need
Where
one.
are you when
I
we
need
need
one.
you?
Yeah, exactly. So the Auto Flosser has a little tip that fits. It would have fit right under the bridge. and then you do your little dial and it slips the stuff through. So I'm not doing this all over the bridge. And then for ortho, oh my gosh, like how many kids love little gadgets that would actually floss with braces on? Like, because none of them do now. Okay, 0.001%, maybe.
If that.
Anyway,
Yeah.
if that, yes. I don't even floss all the time, and I don't have brackets. Carlos, snip that out. Just snip that part out. So tell us a little bit about you, because you have a dental background, and how you came up with it. And if you want to share the story of the process that you had to go through to get it going, like, let's just hear it all, because I'm interested.
Yeah. So this is a 2-hour podcast, because that's how long it's going to take to go through.
Oh, God.
Okay,
let's
through all the
do
subtleties.
the bullet points.
Yeah, bullet points. Yeah, the cliff notes. I don't even. Do they have?
I like how she said you have a dental background. A little
Say again,
bit.
Carlos.
Oh, literally.
I like
yeah,
how Sandy just said you have a dental background, and I'm like, yeah, a little bit.
just a little.
But no, I'm a dentist. I actually went on beyond dental school, and I went on and did a periodontics residency
Nice.
with a prosthetic residency. It was a combined program at Penn. So that was kind of like the base for me. And after school, I went into clinical practice. I'm a 4-day-a-week, 32-hour-a-week practitioner. The practice has really evolved into one that is both periodontics and prosthodontics. So I do a lot of my own, pre-prosthetic surgery, along with the bridges and things at the end. So that's the back, like my background in a nutshell.
Yeah.
But just like every other clinician out there, we grind it out every day, and right. And there's days that we'll be doing these great, fantastic bridges and really making people happy, and they're smiling and they're ready to go out there and love their new teeth. But the problem's been over the years that the responsible dentist that I am, I'm like, trying to break the happiness at the end. I'm like, well, now you got to clean it. And they're like, oh, okay, well, how do I do that? Well, the problem with a lot of these bridges that we're doing, and implant bridges and tooth bridges, and like you said, even orthodontics, you can't slip a regular piece of floss between the contacts of your teeth, because they're connected, they're solid. It's just like a one-piece appliance. And so I would bring out a Floss Threader, and everybody's seen them because they're all over the place, that little blue loop. And you put a piece of floss through that loop, and then you take the tip of that loop and you find the space that you're supposed to put it between. And as I'm sitting there showing my patients how to do this, I literally am struggling. I'm struggling. I can't find the space. And I've got magnified
professional.
My loops. I've got like the bright light. I've got an assistant handing me instruments. Patient's got the mirror. And I'm like, I can't fit it through the space. But like, Mrs. Jones, you got to fit it through the space.
Yeah, you got to figure it out, lady.
Fit it through the space. How am I going to fit it through the space? Well, just do the best that you can, right? I mean, that's we're trying to be encouraging the whole time. Just do the best that you can. It's like, our kids playing baseball. Just go out there and do the best that you can. Now, when it comes to like, the longevity of these bridges, if they can't do it, it's probably going to fail at some point in time. Plaque builds up, and
bacteria, and
doesn't look good.
It doesn't smell good.
Time and money investment. You want to protect
get red and puffy. They start bleeding.
Yeah, it's like buying a really hot car and then not getting the oil changed, not taking it for car washes, and then you're going to get rust.
Tires.
You're going to get an engine that is not working. Tires,
Brilliant. If you don't mind, I'm going to use that same example, because that's exactly right. That's exactly right.
For a while.
I wouldn't go out and buy a Lamborghini and not take care of it.
Right.
So
knowing you wouldn't buy a
welcome.
Lamborghini anyway.
I totally would if I was rich and had a friend that wanted a Lamborghini, because it would go to them. I don't want a Lamborghini. But anyway, Tom, do you want a Lamborghini?
Because once you have the Lamborghini, now you're washing it on the weekends. no more podcasts if you're out there,
Yeah.
watching
So
cars.
I need an auto washer for my Lamborghini, the way that bridge wearers need the auto flosser for their bridge.
Right.
Oh,
That's it.
snap.
Exactly. You need a way to keep it clean. And
Yeah.
so I mean, it was really, an accumulation of these moments clinically where I just know that our patients are not going to do it because they can't, that I really said that there needs to be a better way. There needs to be a better way. And literally I was at a friend's house one Friday night and we're sitting around having some cocktails and I'm telling him about this problem. And one of my friends is a mechanical engineer. And we started just literally,
Wow.
I mean, you talk about like, and you hear about people that are like sitting at a dinner table with a cocktail napkin, drawing something out. We literally sat there. Maybe it wasn't on a cocktail napkin. Maybe it was, I think we were probably etching it into my
Your
friend's
cranberry vodka had to like just sweat on the table because
Right.
you were busy with the napkin.
Yeah, that's
making
why
it
there's so
happen.
many curves to the auto flosser, because they're really just profiles of the glass of the on the napkin.
You're like, let's just make
If you
it
used designing
sexier.
software, it'd be more square. But
Yeah,
It's
right.
a sexy flosser. It's
If I
got
would have used like
curves.
a protractor and like a compass and some real like drawing implements, it would have had like a lot more like
Yeah, but if you would have broke all that out on the beer, the table, people would have looked at you weird.
no, I'm
So
holding it right now, and the design. Now that you mentioned all the curves, there's not a straight line on the damn thing, but it fits your hand. It's like you
it's
can't
your
drop it if you
hand.
tried.
Ah, mm.
It's like
yeah.
a very
I,
smooth, tiny dumbbell. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
It
I'm
doesn't weigh anything.
Nothing. Yeah.
not going to get your cardio in when you're flossing. I mean, that'd be a good idea though. I mean, to kill two birds with one stone.
Yeah.
Dude,
Little
your
cardio.
fingertips are gonna be amazing.
But the old way of flossing, sometimes it was cardio because it was so difficult. So you're taking the cardio out of flossing. Another tagline for you.
Right. Yeah. It's really heart friendly. I mean, nobody's getting anxiety with flossing anymore. The blood pressure is not going up.
If you break a
It's a
sweat
lifesaver.
while using the auto flosser, go see your doctor. Your
Yeah, 'cause there's
Get
something
your money. You'll get your full money back guarantee if you sweat while using the auto floss.
Now, I mean, we had to put a disclaimer because that may not hold true if you're living like on the equator. I mean, because you just maybe sweat just because you
yeah.
wake up in the morning.
Yeah. You
Right.
gotta use common sense.
Or you could be sweating because you're just that out of shape.
Okay,
I
so
don't know.
between concept and that initial late night creative session till you had a working product that you can test, what kind of time period are we looking at? A year, 4 months? Well, how long does something like that take?
It's been a couple of years. So my friend, literally, that was on a Friday night. On Monday, he had some drawings for me, and I had them printed, just to see what would happen. And it was like one of these things that I got it back from the 3D printer, and I'm like, it's okay. It wasn't really. I mean, there's like a lot of design elements that just weren't working. But we finally, through a couple of prototypes, got one that worked pretty good. And I had to test it, right? Like I could sit there, in my office and I could say, hey, this works pretty good. So then I would take it and I'd put in someone's bridge, or I'd check somebody in hygiene that had like one of these bridges.
Yep.
And I would test it on them without, just kind of, part of the examination, I would test my little device and it worked. So there was like a proof of principle concept there where I'm like,
right.
This is something that can really help. This is something that can really help. So through multiple design changes and prototyping, we got it to where it is today.
That's
So
awesome.
to answer your question, Carlos, it's been a couple of years, because nothing ever happened. As much as we love what we're doing and we want to be really quick about it, once you start getting like other people involved, it's like, what do you mean you can't have it tomorrow? What do you mean it's going to be like 3 weeks before you have those changes made? Come on. Why is it taking so long?
Why
So,
am I
yeah.
not your main priority right here? Come on,
Yeah, I
man.
know that you're like, creating like amazing things, that are saving people's lives, but I'm saving people's teeth. This is important too.
Right.
We got to get
I
this.
mean,
Indirectly saving lives. Seriously, I know we're it's not hyperbole. It's if healthy gums. It just creates a whole system of health. That's just the pathway into your inside. That if your gums are tight and healthy, then that's a lot less problems you're going to have in the long run. But
Yeah.
yeah.
You're absolutely right, Carlos, about that. That's a great point.
But it's not you don't just come up with something like this overnight and then boom, 2 weeks later you got a thing. And you got like I would
Right.
imagine it would take a ton of tweaking because I saw it and I remember thinking, well, I don't work clinically anymore. But when I did, that was one of my biggest bane of my existence was flossing under fixed bridges and and around implant abutments. I was like, I can't stand this dude. But yeah, I mean it's a no-brainer, really. It's a slam dunk. But
I nearly fell into the pool when I saw it, and I was like, this is awesome. And like Carlos was saying, like we have it ingrained in our brains as hygienists that there's this oral systemic link. So we're basically, I mean, we can put capes on now because we're lifesavers, heroes in a way.
Right.
But
welcome
Tom,
to
you
the
get the
mix.
biggest cape
I'm almost
because you're
wondering. I'm almost
inventing.
wondering what my like emblem would be. Well, it'd be the Autoflosser. I mean, to be quite
Yeah, I
honest.
mean,
Yeah.
Dude,
Like
if you flew around with a
right
suit,
on my
that
right on the front of my uniform. Right on
chest.
the front of right. A big picture of the Autoflosser.
Yeah.
with the initials AF on your chest, I think it would people would take it the wrong way. But we all know you mean Auto Flosser.
Just go with it. Go with
Yeah.
it. Fine.
Right. I mean, absolutely. With a little picture right next to it. I mean, it may make it more clear.
That's what I'm thinking right now.
So
Yeah.
how do you feel about the rubber boots and the underwear on the outside? Because I feel like that's the way we're going, that direction. Is that cool or?
I'm a little bit more old school. I like to keep things tucked in and nice and neat. So I would probably
Like the
keep my
new Superman?
underwear on the inside, away from public viewing.
Yeah.
Like the new Superman suit, right? It's all one piece.
Like a leotard.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna go in that direction, but yeah, hey, let's get weird, man.
Oh, it's a
It's
uniform,
like
not a lead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm picturing Uggs, dude. I mean, if you're gonna go, be comfortable,
Yeah.
Well, I got my Uggs on right now.
Oh,
There's nothing
sweet.
more comfortable than a pair of
Good.
Uggs.
What?
My
That's what I've
tootsies are
been. That's what I've
cold.
been
I'm not
doing.
wearing.
Yeah, we're heading in the wrong direction with the promotion.
You have an idea, a plan for distribution to make sure that this can get in everybody's hand that needs one, wants one.
So, I guess ultimately, like my goal is to be able to have this available for anybody that really could benefit from it, right? I mean,
Right.
you got an implant bridge or regular bridge, orthodontics for our adolescents, adult orthodontic patients. And then what our orthodontic friends do when they're all done is they bond that wire on the back of the front teeth. So there's so many people that don't floss that could floss if it were just made simpler and easier. So that's my ultimate goal is to get this everywhere. And really, I'm just embarking on what they call an ambassador model. And an ambassador model is that, and I'll be a little bit more specific, like a professional ambassador model where I rely on my professional colleagues and my dentist colleagues and my hygiene colleagues and to make professional recommendations to their patients, because that's where things happen, right? It's like, you're in with Sandy and you've got that front bridge from canine to canine. The recognition is that you just can't get floss in there. You know what, Mrs. Jones, I think that you could benefit from this product.
Yes.
So that would be like, Sandy would be my brand or my professional ambassador. And I think that the ambassador model is going to be the best to be able to get this into the hands of our patients. Because there's nothing better than a recommendation given by a professional. Like, if you have like a little red blemish and you go into the dermatologist, they'll be like, you need to use this cream. And then you'll walk out front and there's no questions asked. I need the cream. You just
Yeah.
buy the cream because that's what's best to get rid of the blemish. So I think that our professional colleagues are the best to really make this recommendation. And there's something in it for the patient. As they get that recommendation and using a unique code from the ambassador, the patient gets a little bit off the cost of the Auto Flosser.
Okay.
Every little bit helps, right? But then also the ambassador receives a small commission for a successful recommendation. And I would never want somebody to recommend anything that they didn't fully believe in.
Right.
But everybody that I've talked to, including you, Carlos, other professional colleagues, they're like, this is like the best thing ever. This is going to really help our patients. I haven't met one person that says, this isn't going to work. I haven't.
Right.
I mean, that's the honest truth. I mean,
Yeah,
everybody
that's good.
I've met that's ever been faced with a situation where somebody's got like one of those all-on-4s. Have you ever had to clean an all-on-4 in practice?
No. So,
Well,
I have not.
These all-on-4s have been really kind of become popular, at least in the Chicagoland area, because of a couple of big implant super centers. They're the hardest things to clean. In fact, the all-on-4 is why I developed the Auto Flosser.
For our non-dental listeners, can you describe what that is?
What an all-on-4 is? So what's interesting, it's so well marketed in Chicago that people come in asking for them by name.
Yeah.
I can see, like, if you're not in a market where they're really popular, like, what's an all-on-4? Well,
yeah, I didn't know when you first said it. I was like, are you crawling around? I didn't quite get it, so I do now.
You're like, why do babies need dental implants?
Yes.
Well, so there are people that have just, unfortunately, they didn't wash the Lamborghini over time, so their teeth, they suffered, and they've experienced tooth loss over time. They get to the point where they just really don't have teeth left, or the teeth that they have left need to be removed. Now, the days of providing someone a regular, grandma's denture, the thing that you take out at night and you put on the nightstand.
Pink and white, no matter what.
Yeah, those are really the worst thing that we could do for our patients today, because nobody really ever functions well with them.
Right.
I've never met anybody in my practice that sat down and said, I love my denture.
Yeah.
Nobody loves their denture. Well, anyway, so with dental implants, and over the years, a technique has been developed called the all-on-4 technique, which means we're going to replace all the teeth within one row, one arch, with 4 dental implants. In fact, I keep one here. This is what like an all-on-4 bridge would be, right? It's got the gums and it's got the teeth, but they're actually affixed to 4 dental implants evenly spaced throughout your jaw. And you basically use little screws, and they're held in place. They don't come in and out. People love them because they don't move. They can smile. They can do all the stuff, but they can't clean prior to the Auto Flosser. And so I can't remember where it's going, but that's that particular appliance, this all-on-4, sometimes we call them implant hybrid bridges. That's the reason why the Auto Flosser really was started. And then it really kind of just transcended into basically cleaning anything that you can't floss. But that was the inception of the idea, being able to clean these bridges, implant bridges.
I just had a thought. I just bought a new SUV, right? Last month. And when they sell it to you, they're like, listen, we have maintenance packages, oil changes, and this and that for the next 2 years or whatever. So I got like an extended oil change program. When you have and you invest in what's something like, what's the street price of an all-on-4? I have no idea.
So
Street
like
price.
I said, in Chicago, the market really has been set by some of these implant super centers, and the start to finish cost, taking out whatever remaining teeth you may have, putting in the 4 dental implants, making the bridge, temporary teeth, the whole thing is just around $25,000 to $26,000.
Crazy. And how much is the Auto Flosser?
Well, it retails for $45.
Bro,
Well, there you go.
Like 5 cents on top of the thing. You know what I mean? On top of,
Yes,
look at the whole thing.
absolutely.
Get you one and maintain that investment. Wow, I never thought about that, but it should just be part of the thing. And just to keep you looking good, we're gonna throw this in on top of it and just roll it into the price of the
And
whole.
right.
event.
It's a great way for practices to increase value of what they do, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Um,
Like you go into ortho and they give you a power toothbrush. They should,
Right.
yeah, they should be. Yeah, they should be bundling power toothbrush, auto flosser. There you go. Duh.
And you know, because no parent wants their child to be done with braces and see these little white squares. If you don't get the plaque off, you end up with all these like white spots on your teeth after braces.
So if I have buddies, like hygiene buddies that want to get involved with that, what do they do and where do they go?
Yeah, so it's like super easy. I mean, we take applications right online. There's no cost to applying. It's just pure benefit for everybody. And there's a landing page that I've created for the application. But if
I
you
got the link.
put that
and
into
I'll put it up there.
Yep.
your
Yep. We'll put a link. Yeah. Awesome.
click on that or type it in, it'll take them right to the application page. And it's simple, like, you know, name, email address, and like telephone number, right?
Yeah.
And from that, you're applied.
Nice.
And subsequent to that, the ambassador that applies will receive an email from me that has all the information that they need to be able to track their own recommendations. They'll have links that they could put into their own social media.
Right.
And they'll have their own unique ambassador code that they would then give to their patients, you know,
Yeah.
or friends, or, you know, whoever the case may be, so that they can get a discount and things can get tracked.
And then it spreads like wildfire and the world is healthy. Saved the world.
I think we're
We're
missing.
gonna save the world one bridge at a time.
Yes.
We're missing one important feature of the Auto Flosser. When you floss, you don't reuse the same piece of floss, right?
Well,
Oh yeah. How does
that's
that
a
work?
good question. So we didn't really talk much
Where
about
do you
the
get more
functionality
floss?
of it. What's that?
That's it. Where do you get more floss for the Auto Flosser?
So there's a companion product called the Auto Flosser Floss, believe it or not.
Auto flosser floss?
Yeah, the Flosser Floss. And
Ingenious.
you're absolutely right. I mean, you'll use one piece of floss per day, but you may not want to, you know, use that same piece of floss on multiple days. So it's going to get used up and you're going to need to get more. And so the Auto Flosser Floss has been made to specification for the Auto Flosser. And so that also is part of the web store,
Nice.
where it's purchased and it's sent out every 90 days automatically, so that you never run out.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
And,
that's
you know,
awesome.
the purchaser can adjust their subscription as needed, but
Right.
that's the second component to the Auto Flosser is the floss.
I love subscription services because if it's left up to me, I'm working like 50 plus hours, plus I do the podcast stuff, plus I do my social media stuff. Like I do not have time to go to the store, go to the post office. Like Carlos, side note, your cup, I'm gonna put it in the mail today because I've just been busy.
Thank
You
you.
want to see that again? Oh, hey, oh, look at that.
What?
And then boom, go auto floss
Hell
yourself.
yeah, son.
Yeah,
That's
right
how we
on.
can sign off today. At any rate, I've been busy. So for me to get to the store, for me to like go and find what I need, or even taking the time to go online to reorder is a chore. So the
Right.
fact that it comes to me automatically saves, it just saves me because I wouldn't think about it. So I like that.
Damn, this is so much easier than just
Isn't it?
driving 3
Oh,
miles to the drugstore, you know? So
So
I
that's
love
perfect.
getting stuff in the mail, and yeah, it'll always be there. That's a consumable. It's a, you know, you're gonna use it up. Nothing lasts forever, and so you
And it's
buy
nice to
the
have it automated. I hate
yeah.
doing something or having something that then there's just this, now you got to like remember to do this. You got to remember to do that. When it's
Like
automatic,
dogs, you have to like go and get dog food every month.
oh, they eat. Yeah, I didn't know that they had to eat.
Dang it.
Why are they
That's
What an
scratching to get
investment.
out? What's going on? You know?
why I like fish. You can forget to feed fish for a week and they figure it out, right? They
Yeah,
find
they're like, you know what? I'm gonna eat my own poop. I'll be fine.
right.
Oh wait, dogs do that too. So
Remind me never to give a dog a big kiss on the lips.
oh yeah.
Nope.
At any
But
rate,
if you
so yeah,
do, make sure
subscription.
you run
Yep.
through with that auto flosser right afterwards, bro.
Yep.
Because
And then
Stick my
throw
head
that
in
floss
the
away.
that's
Well, cool.
all right.
Oh,
Anything else
yeah,
you want
that's
to get off your
awesome.
chest while we got you? It doesn't even have to be auto flosser related. Anything you want us to know?
You want to talk about your favorite podcast or something?
Yeah, I do have a new favorite podcast. It's funny that
Ooh, what is it?
It's funny that you should talk about that because
Ooh, yeah, do
I
tell.
watched 134. 134 was great. That was great.
Yeah, our last episode.
Yeah.
The titles would make me laugh. The
Yeah,
dumbest
Carlos
thing.
has a ball coming up with all these crazy titles. What's that one titled, Carlos?
That one's
134?
called Monkey Urine, Broken Mirrors, and Medical Emergencies. So just
Yeah,
looking at
I
the
mean,
title, you have no idea what what the
How
show
are
is gonna
those
be.
related?
if I could chime in
You
on
listen
that
and
for a
see.
second,
Sure.
Yeah,
I'm
go ahead.
going to respectfully disagree with you. I think because you were talking about mirrors and there's different levels of like how long you're going to suffer. I think it's like
Depending on the size of the mirror.
right,
Right.
and the method in which it was broken. Like if you're like
Premeditated,
fury
like
versus it's slipping out of your pocket.
Yeah.
I think
Right.
it's all the same. I think you
Really?
break a mirror. Yeah, I don't think there's shades of gray in that. I think it's you broke a mirror. Now you're going to suffer for 7 years.
Damn, that's
So-
harsh,
so-
Maybe
man.
a little harsh, but that was
Yeah.
kind of like my first reaction.
maybe you should just be more careful.
Yeah.
That's why I believe that all mirrors should be plastic.
You know,
The days of having glass mirrors are gone.
I don't disagree, man,
Yeah.
because you drop a hand mirror versus you sling a brick through one. Not the same level of
Right.
punishment,
And
I
is
would
it
say.
is it cracked or is it the shavings that came out? I mean,
I don't
you
know.
know?
I spent a lot of time thinking about this yesterday. And
Did
it's
you?
like because
Too much, probably.
and I'll tell you because now once you introduce shades of gray, now somebody's got to be around to say and make a subjective opinion about that. Like
Who's the
Like the
arbiter?
jury. Mhm.
who's in charge of like
Yeah.
determining how long you're going to suffer after breaking a mirror?
Right.
It's just a
Gosh,
lot
I mean, I guess the justice system, but then, gosh,
No.
I don't
Maybe a
know.
little
Then you have
more.
technicalities. Like, was there oil on your hand? Like, were you
But it's like,
carrying
then there's
45
then
things?
But then there's appeals, right? Let's say you don't like what was
Yes.
given to you, like you're given 7 years. I'm like, well, I don't
Yeah.
agree. I want an appeal. I mean, it
What
just
if
seems
the
like
mirror consented to being broken? Now
What's that?
what? What if the mirror
Right.
consented to being broken?
The mirror consented to.
right,
Yeah.
right.
It's
The
like
bulk-
you
can of worms,
don't
man.
clean me enough. I'm just get rid of me. You know? Yeah. The Pandora's box full of stuff.
Anyway,
Legal,
so that
loophole.
podcast had a lot of impact on me. I mean, it's like been occupying my mind for like hours now. It's like,
Wow,
I
Tom,
apologize.
yeah, I can't shake it.
that's kind of weird, but incredible
But
at
I'm
the same
glad that I got it off my
time.
chest now because now I think I can move on in my day.
Okay, good. I'm glad we cleared the air
so-
on the broken mirror controversy.
Yeah, thank goodness for that.
Yeah. If I'm ever invited back for another podcast, I want to talk about Carlos the comedian and how I felt at Smiles at Sea, how I thought I potentially had some future as being a comedian. So I was following around Carlos like a puppy dog,
Mhm.
throwing jokes at him. And he's
And
like,
he was like,
get away, get away, get away.
No. I would.
"Oh,
You know,
that's awesome."
here's the thing, Doc. What you don't understand is that people come up to me all the time, and for those who don't know, I kind of tell jokes for money, and I'm pretty decent at it. And so I got that reputation. So when we were at the Havana night thing,
It was
outside by the pool, right?
the pool party.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody's loosey goosey, having fun.
I don't know where you were, Sandy, but Dr. Tom corners me, right? And he's telling me these jokes, right? And you know, sometimes those stock jokes, work because they've been
Mhm.
around in one form or another, and they've got them perfected. And so he's hitting me with
Mhm.
street jokes, but what makes it yours is the authenticity, or something that happened to you, or something that didn't even have to happen, but something that's original in yours. You know what I mean? But anyway, I gave him some tips on how to deliver this line, and then he goes and does his presentation. Doesn't even mention the pirate, and I'm like, dude, I'm a little disappointed. I wanted to hear about the
Where's the
pirate.
pirate? Where's the
Yeah.
pirate?
I was, yeah, I couldn't get it together because they had somebody up in the
Yeah.
front that kept on like 5 minutes,
Oh yeah.
4 minutes,
He went straight business
3 minutes, and I'm at 3 minutes. I'm like, I haven't even said the word auto flosser yet. You're right. So I'm like,
Or pirate. Like
yeah,
uh,
yeah.
No,
So
but you
I had to,
did well, man. You look good, and you did it well.
yeah.
So yeah,
yeah,
And
thank
a good product. So there you go.
yeah.
yeah, thank you.
Speaking of Smiles at Sea, I was telling Tom in Messenger before we hopped on here that I had a dream about Smiles at Sea last night. And I was like, I don't know where this comes from, but I mean, we're going to go back in October, I think, back to Miami. So this dream is about going on that trip. And for some reason, it's cold in St. Louis. So I'm wearing this shoulder to ankle, big, fluffy coat on my way to Miami, of all places. Like, anyway, so I'm walking down the corridor in the airport and I see the Smiles at Sea crew. I have no idea why, but I come in and I start doing cartwheels and like tumbling in the airport, like I guess just trying to make people laugh. Why would I
Is that
be
a
doing
skill that you
cartwheels in
possess
the
in real
airport?
life?
Cartwheels? I pretty much do cartwheels like Creed on The Office. And you guys don't watch
Not
The
familiar.
Office. Yeah, I'm just tumbling around like weird. And then I sit down at the table out of breath, and that was pretty much it. But the biggest thing was I was wearing this huge coat, and I'm like,
It's a real world dilemma.
I think I went to Salt Lake
but
City
anyway.
for 2 days, and all I brought was like a light fleece jacket, and there was snow on the ground, and I'm like,
Ugh.
it's the dumbest thing I've ever done. But I had a hat, so yeah, I guess that's a dilemma, you know.
It is a
Hey,
dilemma.
Carlos, you probably don't ever experience this, but when you live up like in a four season like area,
Mhm.
there's a point in time in the year where it can be either really, really hot or really, really cold.
It's
So
right
what do you
now.
do with your thermostat, right? One day it's going to be hot, so you put it on air conditioning.
Right.
Well, the next
Mhm.
day, it doesn't get so hot, but you forget to turn it to heat. So all of a sudden you wake up and you're like, I've got no heat in my house. It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it really is a problem.
Tom, are you
Yeah.
ready for our little speed round? What we do is
Do it.
TMI. This is our interview part. We kind of went over a little bit, but it was fun. So, that's allowed. But TMI is 20-minute interview, 30-minute interview, sometimes 10 if people aren't so enjoyable. And here we are at 50. So this is FMI, FML. Yeah, so part of what we do is the speed round. It's about 10 questions.
Oh,
We get to know you a little bit better. And are you ready?
I am ready. Fire away, fire away.
Let's go with number one. What is your favorite holiday?
Christmas, no doubt.
Yes.
Not even, not even a second thought.
Like, I feel like somebody said like Canadian Boxing Day or something, and they're not even Canadian. I'm like, what?
not even a
That's
thing.
weird. It's always Christmas. It's always Christmas.
Yeah.
You have
The
time off.
sense, the emotion, everything,
Like,
the
come on,
sight.
the gifts.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is the last book you read or movie you saw?
That's a very good question. I substitute TV show, 90 Day Fiance.
Well, oh, really?
Right there, 90 Day Fiance, TLC. I'll plug it right now. I love that show.
Oh my God.
Mm-mm-mm.
Carlos, don't
Wow,
look.
No,
I'm surprised you admitted that. Whew.
Oh, I took a lot of time at the office. I love it. I'm the
That's
biggest supporter of that
hilarious.
show.
I got a buddy. I'm not gonna say his name, and he does like The Bachelor and this, and I'm like, dude, are you serious? He goes,
Bachelor's cool.
it sounds dumb on the surface, but once you get into it, and I'm like, I don't even want to get started because what if I like it? You know what I mean? And I got too much stuff to do. So,
Yeah, I do like The Bachelor. It's a guilty pleasure of mine, but
Oh,
yeah, that's interesting. What is something that you think everyone should do at least once in their lives that you've done?
Repel off a 100-foot cliff with a rope.
Ooh, I think I would do it. I think.
Yeah,
I
I
think
didn't
I
think
would
I
do
was
it.
going to do it, but I'm pretty much heavily involved with the Boy Scouts of America.
Oh yeah,
And,
yeah,
my sons and I've been in scouting, forever.
yeah,
One of
yeah,
our campouts, we literally repelled with that rope, like you would see
yeah.
like SWAT team coming down the side of a building.
Yep,
It was the most terrifying experience of my life.
that
But
is all
it was over, and I'm like, that was great.
that's got to be what,
good.
10 seconds maybe or less?
Well, I guess it depends upon how fast you let the rope slip through your hands, but
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I mean, it seemed like it took an hour to get down, but it was probably like 15 seconds. It,
Yeah,
probably,
I
That's-
guess
it,
it's
took
got to
me,
be
it took me an
satisfying when
hour
you're
just to
done.
get off over the cliff. Once I was off over the edge, then it was
Yeah.
fine. To take that first
Right.
step.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like you're at the edge, your brain is just giving you all these bad scenarios, and then you're just like, you know what? Screw it. And then you just go. And then it's fine. Like I feel like that's how it is.
Your brain is telling you, get away from the edge, it's dangerous. And you go, you know what?
Right.
I'm gonna override everything, all my
Yes.
instincts and go over the edge on a damn rope, on a clothesline.
Absolutely. Ugh.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do what is your biggest pet peeve with modern technology?
Oh, my biggest pet peeve with modern technology. I'm a big adopter of modern technology, so not a lot of things bother me.
Yeah.
Um, uh, I would, here's my biggest pet peeve.
Okay.
Go to a restaurant. Now, I haven't really done a lot of that recently, but you go to a
Yep.
restaurant and you look over, and there's a family of 4.
Hmm.
Each one has their own smartphone, right? Because that's what
Yes.
we do today.
Yeah.
And everybody on that phone is either,
Mhm.
texting or playing a game or watching a movie or whatever the case may be. That's
Yep.
my biggest pet peeve.
But
I'm sorry, Sandy. I'm sorry, Sandy. What were you saying? I picked up my phone acting like I wasn't paying attention to you.
oh, sorry, I'm not even. Oh my gosh, I'm
Did you
an
not see
idiot.
that?
That was bad. See,
No,
Carlos,
I got it.
no,
Okay.
I was on another screen so I could read the questions.
Carlos, if I
Oh,
could give you a high five through the
you can
Let's do it.
high
Yeah,
five.
there you go. Yep.
Boom. There you go.
You whatever. Get out of here.
Well, you were busy on a different screen, but I was like, oh, he's totally demonstrating what it's like to.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I missed it. I'm sorry.
no worries. What else you got?
Okay, so what is the most romantic thing that you've ever done for someone?
What is the most romantic thing that I've ever done for someone?
Watch 90 Days.
Well, I would have to say,
All for you, babe.
proposing to my future wife.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, and it wasn't like the typical, go out, get down on one knee. We were
Yeah.
skiing in Steamboat, and
Mhm.
we get out early one day. They call it first tracks. Before anybody else is out on the mountain. So we got out
Yeah.
for everybody else. We were sitting on a chairlift, and in the middle of a snowstorm, bundled up with our just like our coats, from head to toe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Nice.
I thought that was pretty romantic.
Yeah.
This was on the chairlift.
On the chairlift.
Wow.
And she said yes.
We're still waiting. No, she said yes. She said yes, but I was fearful of this.
Yeah.
I had this pre-planned, but then in the back of my mind, I'm like, what if I drop the ring?
"Oh my
Oh,
That would be,
god!"
like, really
you
bad.
would never, ever find it again. Never.
Like, yeah, even if the snow melted and you went back there in the middle of summer, never.
No. No.
So I kind of left that behind. So I guess maybe it wasn't that romantic because I proposed, but there was no ring. So it's like we had to wait till we got back off the chairlift into
That's when the agreement was proposed, and we'll sign the papers later.
All right, last one. What object have you been searching for with no luck?
Oh, what object have I been searching for with no luck? That's a good question. What object? I don't know. That's not a good answer.
I feel like for me, when I was a kid, I had a stuffed Bullwinkle, Rocky and Bullwinkle, and one day it just disappeared. And to this day, if I ever find a stuffed Bullwinkle, I'm buying it, no matter what the price. $1,000,000, I'll sell my Lamborghini and get my Bullwinkle back.
Huh.
Well, I mean, to just a couple on that. I mean, there's been some childhood toys that I've had that I like, and I will literally go on eBay to try to
Yeah.
find, like Stretch Armstrong.
They
Remember
still
Stretch
make them,
Armstrong?
Carlos had one.
You can't
Carlos,
find those anymore. I think it's because the
cut
stuff
one
that
up.
was inside of it was toxic. But I mean, and I think it was like banned by like the FDA or something.
Maybe back in the 70s when we had them, but dude, they changed it. You know what it is now?
No.
Orange syrup.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
He totally cut one open one time and ate it. No.
I didn't eat it, but it was like purple goo on the inside though.
Yeah, could you imagine like you're having pancakes one morning and you're like, where's the syrup? Well, we don't have any syrup. Well, go grab Stretch. We're gonna
Yeah, just cut one arm off.
Just-
We'll sew it up. It'll be
Just
fine.
Squeeze them.
if you were to
Yep.
use Stretch Armstrong as a delivery device for corn syrup, what appendage would you cut off?
Probably the head.
No,
Squish it.
the head is hard. It's like a hard plastic head. The neck has like a valve in it.
Well, then all you have is the arms and legs to choose from. That's no fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I think I'd go with thigh because I think you'd get the most amount out with the least amount of
Yeah.
effort.
He did have some thick thighs though. Does it-
Now, do you want the family size or the?
I'm gonna have to post the pictures so people know what the hell we're talking about.
Yeah.
But I just that question it reminds me of that song from U2. I still haven't found what I'm looking for. Remember that one from
Yeah,
it was the Joshua Tree in the late
Joshua
'80s.
that can be the outro music.
What YouTube with their algorithms they'll ban us or
Of course.
yeah, but it'll still be cool.
Can
it's a
I
good
sing
song.
it, or do we get banned?
No, you can hum it. It won't be
And I
muted.
still haven't found
Isn't that what like the video they were up on the top of the building? Was that the one?
Oh gosh, I don't
Hey,
even know.
And Maven, I want to say they were on a mountain or something, but who knows? Yeah, it's
Okay.
YouTube. YouTube on YouTube. Look it up. Do you collect anything?
Do I collect anything? Well, like be a little bit more specific. Like if I were to go on vacation, would I collect something that I would add to my collection or just like around?
Yeah, like Sandy does like fridge magnets, right? From places you go to.
Everywhere
right?
I go.
I collect mugs. Like this is
Ah,
my Miami of Ohio mug. But if I go on vacation somewhere, I will get a coffee mug, and then I will use that coffee mug exclusively until I get a new one.
Gotcha.
oh.
I like
Then you
that.
wash them, put them on a shelf, and you're boom on to the next one.
You know, they're never really put away into like a curio cabinet where I can like look at them at a moment's notice. They tend to stay in the cabinet. They just move their way to the back.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But then every once in a while, I'll pull one forward if my current mug, it's hasn't been washed or whatever, and I need a
Yeah.
mug instantly. I'll pull one from
Yes.
the back. I'll pull it out. I'll be like,
Wow.
"Oh, look, steamboat. I remember that. I proposed to
They're
my future wife there."
Yeah.
they're all sitting in the back going, ooh, ooh, do you think they're gonna pick me? Don't you feel bad for them?
It's usually a volume issue. Like my decision making is like
Yeah.
it's based on how much coffee I think I want to drink. Like, if
Yes.
I need a big cup, I'll
This much
I'll look
coffee?
over, yeah, right, and I'll pick out the Magnum. If it's like, I just need a little bit, then I'll just pick off whatever's up front.
Yeah.
I don't know if you
Awesome.
do this, or listen to some of the previous episodes, but Sandy's fashions herself as the cafe hygienist of the dental world.
Yes.
And what's your coffee brewing process, or do you have a machine, or do you have one of those big automatic deals that grinds and brews, or what's?
Well, I'll tell you, I don't find myself a coffee aficionado, but I do like a good cup of coffee, right? Like I've got a friend that like is convinced that you need to have a French press, right? Here's what I do because
Yeah.
here's what I do. Now, I've gone the K cup route, right? And
Oh,
you
Yeah.
get you some brown water.
hey, Sandy, isn't that what I say all the
Carlos!
time? Just
He said
hot
it's just
brown
hot
water.
brown water.
The Starbucks Verismo single cup brewer is pretty good.
No, that's a K cup.
It's not a K cup. So Starbucks has their own pods, and it's got like a little foil thing that you have to peel off first, and you hear a little poof because it's like packed with fresh air.
Italian.
Yeah, it's like coffee air. Like they put that in there to get it, make it better.
I could breathe that all day.
And then you put that into your single cup, machine. It's the Starbucks machine, and it legit makes a pretty good cup of coffee.
Okay, I haven't tried that
Nice.
one. I'll be honest with you. But,
Yeah.
Mm.
So, but as far as like, again, with the Scouts, I come out with my percolating, my percolator, because there's no electricity.
Yeah,
So it's like the old school, right? And
yeah,
I got one.
like that, you got to go to the grocery store, and you just can't buy the regular pre-ground stuff. You got to grind it specifically for a percolator.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, the grinds are too small and they like fall through.
Yeah,
So
espresso grinds would clog that thing up.
it would clog it up. It'd be like, you'd be like drinking grinds or grounds.
Yeah.
But but I mean, as far as like, I've got a friend who's like, you got to get the Kona coffee. You got to get this. I'm okay. Just brew me a good cup of coffee.
That's it.
Yeah.
Nice and strong. To quote one of my favorite comics, Theo Vaughn, if you ever get a chance to see him live, I suggest you go, and the dude is amazing. He has this on his podcast, he talked about how Keurig was trash, that he could drink 2 of those and take a nap. He goes, I had 5 Keurigs the other day. I took a nap. I woke up wearing a thong. I think that's what's wrong with America nowadays. Right? He goes, you can feed a Keurig to a baby. He goes, I like that coffee where you got to brew. He goes, you take that little upside down paper baby hat and you fill it full of grinds. And he goes, the kind of coffee grandma used to make. He goes,
Oh my
they kind of
gosh.
keep granddaddy's spine straight. He goes,
Yeah, they call that what?
scoliosis, noliosis. And that line just makes me
Oh my
laugh because
gosh.
it's so dumb. Scoliosis, noliosis, like it's gonna make your spine stand up. So,
Jeez.
but I agree. I think Keurig. No offense, Mr. Keurig, but that
I
product's
got
just
rid of mine
trash.
because of Carlos. It's his fault.
Oh.
But
So
you know what? Everybody's got a French press now. I had a patient the other day, and I'm working in public health, thinking, do they even drink coffee? I don't know. And she was like, "Oh yeah, I have a French press and a Keurig," and I was like, "I thought I was cool,
I
but
thought these people were brewing coffee out of
everybody's got
old
them now."
socks or something,
Well, there's
Yeah.
there's a technique. Let's say you were caught out in the wild and you wanted to make a good cup of coffee, but you didn't have your French press.
Yeah.
And it's something like you make your coffee, you boil the coffee in the water, and then you take an egg and you put it on top of that water. And when it cooks, it sinks like a French press would, keeps the grounds at the bottom and gives you the coffee up at the top. It's like some survival mode, like coffee, like making.
And then you can eat the egg, or does it taste like coffee?
Well, I would probably eat the egg too.
I would too.
Coffee
I
essence.
I never heard of that, but I got a fire pit. I might have to try that.
Give it a whirl. Give it a whirl. So Tom, thank you so much for
Yes.
being on the show.
Okay.
We appreciate it. And what we thought was going to be a 30-minute type deal, you have basically become an official honorary OYF host for this episode. So that's awesome. You've been a real hoot. And I cannot wait for people to get this in their hands and start offering it to people. I mean, the podcast, but also the Auto Flossers.
Yeah, I'll post all the links and stuff. So guys, just don't panic, and I'll have it on the screen throughout the whole episode on if you watch the YouTube, which I'm asking people to watch. I think it's more engaging if you see our dumb faces, but
it's a more rounded
my dumb face.
experience.
Yeah, I add funny pictures and stuff to it on the video.
Yeah.
but-
Oh yeah. That's crazy.
Listen, I had such a
so-
fun time with you guys, both of you in Miami. I had just
Yeah.
as much fun here on this podcast. I mean, it was
Awesome.
a great time. I had a lot of fun.
Thanks for coming
Awesome,
on. And
yeah.
again, thanks for making an amazing product. And are you going to the October?
Yeah, it's already in the
Okay.
calendar. I'll be there
Woo!
for sure. Yeah,
That's
Yes,
awesome.
We'll see you there. Definitely catch
I
up,
will.
man.
yeah, we'll definitely see you there.
You got it.
Awesome.
Last words,
So that was
Dr. Tom?
episode. Oh, sorry.
Last
I'm sorry.
words. Yeah.
If-
Yeah. Last words. Thank you guys so much for the opportunity to be on here.
Of course.
And I just hope that everybody
Anytime.
takes a look at the Auto Flosser and just kind of gets involved. I think
Yes.
it's gonna be a great thing.
There you
Oh
go.
yeah. So episode 135 in the books. And Carlos, anything else you want to add?
Yeah, just our usual closing tagline is go floss yourself.
I'm gonna
Wow.
say go auto floss yourself.
Boom. Doc,
All right,
thank
Tom. Thank you
for
so
joining us.
much.
Thank both of you. It's great.
Have a great
seeing
weekend,
ya.
sir.
Yes.
Thank you.
You too. Can't wait to see you in Miami.
No, you got it. Take care.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye, everybody.